I'm Levy, your friendly neighborhood Chibi Leviathan, and this is session 19 of Lumineth, the Looming Green. And this was our final recap for now for Lumineth, the Looming Green, as our characters are going off to find the next adventure after this session. We begin the session still in town. We are bartering with the DM for our goods. We find the best place to sell the Vaynot, which seems to be the magic shop. We barter for which magic items we want. Unfortunately, our fighter sorcerer is not able to get plate mail because it's a little bit too expensive, a little out of our price range at the moment. But my character ends up getting a scuttling lamp and a bag of holding so that he can replace one of his infusions later. Our other members get what they want. I think some kind of magic items for spellcasting for our warlock, armor for our fighter rogue. I believe our sorcerer also upgrades his armor and gets a cloak of protection. And I think our druid got some kind of item that might summon some things, some kind of shenaniganery like that, or something along those lines. We also, I think, run out of funds and don't have any to really truly upgrade our bastion with. So that's something that we have to deal with later. Originally, if we had enough money left over, we were going to upgrade the boat where our Mapak Doug Gerbert is taking us along the river. Originally, we assumed that we were going to go find the treasure first with Doug along the way towards the Verdant Foundry. However, the DM told us that, no, in fact, since this is going to be the last session, that's something we can do when we come back next time. I thought, because I had used my special Destiny dice and that the magic item or magic treasure or what have you was from that I would actually get to have that in this arc of the campaign, not something for a future arc, but hey, what can you do? Sometimes time gets limited. So we go down the river with Doug, we get to the Verdant Foundry, and we rush to the lady's house with the capsule container to catch the demon that is haunting her father, that's trying to manifest inside of the house. We do take some time to set up and wait until it is evening before we actually head inside. Of course, along the way, Milton does some fishing, as he's like to do, off of the boat. We, spend some time getting ready for the day, making sure that we're ready to fight this thing. The blacksmith, I believe, also has to do some preparations along with Lady Heather as we're getting ready. There's not as much chatter between the party, as they're all very focused on this being kind of the end of this arc of our journey. We go into the house and are immediately attacked by the house itself, some unseen force attacking us that we're not able to do anything about. We did prep some spells on ourselves to go faster. Blaric put Longstrider onto Milton. Milton put Lyric into his arms behind his shield since he's medium and I'm small, and I basically used him as a mount for this battle. We proceed inside and Milton immediately dashes upon having haste upon himself through the room, up the staircase, and to the third floor, where we try to find the proper place to take this capsule. It is vibrating, it is humming, but we are just not sure where it goes. Zeke, Patch, and Cisco all enter the house and are attacked by it as well, and start getting attacked by these ghostly apparitions that also appear. The house is very dark. Darker than we assume. There's no lights within, no light source, no windows seem to be providing us any kind of true light. There is some dim light in some places, but we're having a hard time seeing well. So on the top floor, we're also attacked by some of these apparitions. Milton ends up surrounded by them, and Lyric uses Sanctuary on him so that he can continue running without being too badly hindered by these creatures. So we do manage to get past them upstairs. The ones downstairs do get dispatched by our party. Unfortunately for Patch, his summoned companion, where he ends up summoning a spectral version of one of his band members, does get destroyed in the process, does not get to make it through the fight. Our one casualty of the night. We do get upstairs to the main room where there are these giant globules floating up and down, kind of like a lava lamp. And on the bed, beginning to form, it looks like the demonic presence slowly coming into the world. So when we get into that room, Milton uses Rhyme's Binding Ice to blast most of the apparitions that are behind us and slam the door shut on them. Lyric immediately jumps out of his arms using Rabbit Hop and climbs up onto the bed and places the canister aloft, using his action to start to absorb this demon into the canister. Not truly knowing how it works, but just kind of trying his best to get this thing to do its job. Downstairs, after dispatching them, our friends start rushing up, coming to save us and to help, playing the song Hero from, I believe, that one that goes, and they say that a hero can save us. Which I forget the band name right now. So as we get up there, as the climax kind of hits, we had taken so much damage, mostly from the house, as it was striking us every turn, and we weren't able to do anything to kind of take that effect away, other than, in the late stage of it, hide in the staircase, which seemed to be the one point that either the DM decided he was doing too much damage or he needed to take mercy upon that portion of the party, as they were quite close to death, and if they were getting attacked by something that they're not able to stab and defeat constantly, they likely would have died eventually. The song choice comes to me for how the soundtrack of my character, Lyric Maploon, the Hair God Artificer, would be in this moment as he sucks up the demon into the canister and finishes the main quest of this arc. And I decided, after a little bit of deliberation with myself, that the most appropriate song would be from the Trolls movie, Better Place. The one that climaxes with the perfect harmony and saves the family at the end of that movie. So we put the song on, and the DM goes into his description as the demon is being consumed, and the song builds as the DM continues to describe it, and it is largely hilarious and chaotic as many people at the table are doing a little dance as we're ending this part of the campaign. This part of the story comes to its climax, and afterwards we head down with the canister in tow. We talk to Lady Heather. She's grateful to us, and she agrees to meet with my character later on to discuss the payment, as she seems to not want to have anything to do with Ezekiel because he tried to put the moves on her earlier and failed miserably. He seemed to try to want to do so again, but the vibes were certainly not in his favor, so that didn't happen. Instead, they went to the Gathering House, and Lyric as well. They began to kind of party to celebrate. In the middle of that, Lyric slips off and goes to Lady Heather on his own for their kind of secret tryst, their little meeting about what to do with the reward. And instead of accepting a monetary value, well, adjacently he accepts improvements to their bastion that he believes she can source from the town, from the townspeople, from anybody grateful. And it may not cost her as much as she can simply turn in some favors or get people who already work for her, that kind of thing, to simply improve the Bastion, which is the boat that Jug Gerbert is driving us around on that we're taking off to our next mission. So we've decided that when we return to this story, that will be our Bastion, and we will be traveling on a boat Bastion, which sounds pretty cool to me. That'll be the place that we return to, is constantly to the river. The DM has told us that they're going to expand some of the waterways of this world to make this kind of work for us, which I think is cool. And two of our characters seem to want to potentially sunset. The DM threw to our druid, Cisco, who seemed to not want to play that character anymore, who started saying that he was going to be returning to the solar fields, that this mission kind of isn't for him anymore. He's not really sure why he's here and he needs to go back home. My character tried to convince him that, hey, no, you were part of the vision I had. You have to come to Whisper Thicket with me at the very least and like meet my family and hang out and fulfill that little thing. We can do it as a vacation, you know, while we're on the way, because my character is like, I'm done with this adventuring thing as well right now. I'm going home. We're going to go get that treasure real quick, but then I'm going to go home. We're going to go on vacation. I'm going to take a break. I'm not jumping right into this. And the other three very vehemently did not want either of us to leave the party, that said that we had promised to help them fight the current, tried their best to convince us to stay. I think Cisco is maybe a little bit convinced, and Larrick kind of put his foot down a little bit and like, hell no, I'm not going to go do that right now. We don't have any leads. If you expect that I'm going to go jump into that task right away, you are crazy. I did agree I would help you, and I will help you, but not right bloody now. And they seem to like chill out when they realize that what my character really wants is a vacation and not to quit entirely. Although he did state that, you know, his current assignment is up. So like he got them paid, and it's time to take a break. I am considering, of course, still sunsetting the character potentially when we come back. I'm going to discuss with the DM whether I can bring in a secondary character that can potentially be like a hireling on the boat. Perhaps my character and that one can simply exist on the boat, and I can maybe choose between the two of them which one goes off the boat when we go on a mission, and Larry can kind of be like still there with the team, supporting them whenever they return to the ship, as opposed to constantly being in battle, which, you know, as an artificer, seems like a good deal to sit back and kind of build and draw and make things instead of being in the actual fight all the time. Since he is a craftsperson and a guild member, it makes a kind of sense to do that kind of thing and send in a combatant that we hire. So we'll see how that plays out when we return to Lumineth in the coming year. I believe that might not happen for many months, up to almost a year. But I will let you all know when we return to Lumineth, the Looming Green.